Alrighty, I'm back. Sorry there was no stream yesterday, but yesterday was a 9-hour shift that started at 8 in the morning, and even if I woke up at 4 in the morning, it was still kind of too close to stream. So, sorry about that. Thankfully today's shift won't be that early and won't even be that long, so there's that as well. That being said though, I'm still going to keep this stream an hour long, but in the case if for some reason I still want to stream for another hour, I might do that, but no promises. Right, and in the last stream, I was pretty much showing off my new knowledge of gradient maps. And I've already talked about how I need to do the Grisaille layer slightly differently and more and better. Because I put down the values, right, with the grayscale, but I don't actually blend them together. And the gradient maps are not going to work if I don't do that. So everything I was doing with the color layer, as far as the blending of the colors in the last drawing, I have to do that for the Grisaille layer, or the grayscale, whatever you want to call it. So, but that's going to be a while from now, so for now I'm just going to focus on getting the line work done, or the contour layer. And change this to contour. Oops, it's contour, not contour. Just gonna leave it like that. Actually, it probably should be 75%. Let's do 50%. Opacity. Change this back to black. And there we have it. Okay. Not gonna waste any more time. I'm just gonna take this off. There we go. And get started. So in the end, I really don't need to update the gradient palette as much as I thought I did. Or the color palette, I should say, over here. It would still be a good idea to do so. And it will, just, yeah, not now. Or at least, maybe after the stream is over. Anyways. Let's go ahead and get started. Maybe 100%. There we go. Double the size. I don't know why Krita keeps doing that. It wasn't doing that before. Let me change the settings of this brush real quick. Yeah, no, that's unacceptable. Do it the other way around. And just erase this with our brush. There we go. Whoa. Okay, maybe not. Oh, that's why. Okay. You know, I probably should use a bigger size of brush, because it doesn't really make much sense to use these really tiny thin lines. But at the same time, though, it does make sense if you think about it in the context of actual brush work. Maybe something like that. Yeah, that's better. So I don't have to press so hard on my tablet. Drawing tablet, I should say. Thicker lines make it easier to do the line work, because you don't have to worry so much about covering up the edge. But using thinner lines actually requires you to follow the form correctly. Also, let's change the playlist, because I just wanted to play that intro track, and now it's playing all these other ones. There we go. Why is it? Hold on. Keeps changing the eraser switch opacity. Eraser switch size. Erase mode will use a separate brush size. Yes. Why does it keep changing on me? I set this to 18. I'll turn this eraser mode off. Okay. I guess every time I clicked on override brush in the brush settings, it just reset the brush size for everything. Weird. Yeah, it's more like it. I'm not inking anyway, so there's no real point in worrying about the quality of the line work. I'm just trying to get the form down so that I don't have to stare at the reference image when I'm doing everything else. Realistically speaking, too, if I was back in, I should say, the the figure studies courses in the Studio Art program, yeah, I would only have 3 hours to get this done in the first session for the model. So it was really important for me to just get the line work down as quickly as possible in the first hour or hour and a half, and then just get started with the rest of it, like the precise layer, and then finally the color. You just, during that class, classes, I should say, just didn't have time to screw around, or at least I didn't. Well, no one did, because again, the model's only there for the specific number of classes, right, or meetings, I should call it. And then that's it. Like, once they show up, like, 3, maybe 4 times, that's it. Like, if you didn't get everything down like you wanted to, you were just left with what you had and had to make that work. I already talked about this before, but trying to stress the fact that I want to get better at this. Not so much so it looks better, but more so because I want to get this done, like, as fast as I used to do it. Come on. I haven't done line work in a while because I was so busy doing all that coloring. I guess that's good enough. Oh my goodness, yes, I was right. It refreshed or rather reset the opacity as well. I was wondering why the lines were so dark, but at this point, yeah, I really don't care. I'm not even sure why exactly I set the opacity at all to lower than 100% in the first place in the past. Because all it does is make it hard to see the line work when I have the reference image overlapping the canvas. I've noticed that there's been an increase in Papyrus showing up in Deltarune fan art and fan works. And while I too am excited to see Papyrus in the Deltarune universe, I don't know if we'll actually get to see him at all. Considering that it's been taking quite a long time for us to, well, how should I say this? He's not showing up immediately like Sans or Asgore or Alpheus or any of these other older characters in the original Undertale universe. But I gotta say though, there is this one comic that I was watching a video of that was being dubbed, and the artist of the comic depicted Papyrus as a neckbeard wearing a fedora, And that's the reason why he hasn't shown up in the Deltarune game yet. Because he's too busy just being on a forum, like having arguments online. I hope he doesn't end up like that. Because that doesn't sound like the way he would act at all. In any universe. I'm not sure what this is. Let me set the opacity back to 100. Weird. That's like some weird, like, motion blur going on there. Okay. In that case, I'm gonna have to redo this. Yeah, it's another thing too you don't want to do is make mistakes. At least not make too many. Basically, funny enough, a lot of the figure studies courses had a lot to do with speed running. Like, you just had to speed run through the works. Because even if you did everything correctly, and even if you're good at doing figure studies, paintings and drawings, you had other classes to attend to. Sculpture classes, ceramics, weaving, other painting courses and drawing courses, printmaking courses, and so on. Like, you just couldn't just focus solely on one project or one class. So, as I said, like, you just had to get everything done. Thankfully, I have the luxury of just taking it easy, but I still don't want to, because I don't want to spend a whole hour just doing nothing but drawing Knuckles' hand here. Let me put my glasses on, because my eyes strain so badly. If you're wondering why I have to zoom in so much when I'm drawing, it's because I just cannot see that well when it comes to small details and really small print. Okay, that's not completely true. I can't see it, it's just that my eyes strain. To the point where if my eyes strain too much, my vision does actually get blurry. It's funny, like, actually, you know, being an artist would ruin my eyesight. Which is, I guess, my body's way of telling me that I really shouldn't be doing this kind of work, but here I am. I'm not gonna lie, last night I wanted to install Prototype 2, since I just bought it recently, and play that all night last night, but I was just so exhausted that I thankfully just passed out and ended up waking early in the morning today. I mean, when I say early, I mean at 5:30 instead of 6:30. I think I may have talked about this as well in the past, but am I ever going to do fan art of any other game or character besides Knuckles? And I think the answer to that is maybe. And let me explain. Depending on how quickly I get through my other personal projects, that'll determine whether or not I've got the time and willingness to do other characters and such. I would very much like to do fan art of games that I think don't get represented enough that I like. The original Splinter Cell series. What else? Jade Empire. And just a lot of other older 2000s games that were really, really good. Not just for their time, but, you know, are still pretty good today in terms of quality and such. Of course, they have aged, but what hasn't? Even games that have been released in the early 2010s have aged pretty either well or poorly. So yeah, kind of hard to see his leg because the tip of it, one of his dreadlocks, is in the way, but it's there. Yeah, sometimes I would just, if I can't see something very well, or I just can't figure out how to make something show up on the canvas and figure studies courses, I would just make it up. Just put something down that makes sense to me. For some reason, I don't seem to have the eraser tool on here. That's weird. I think I used to, and then I must have removed it or something. Should change that. Yeah. Alright, whatever. Oh man, you think making a mistake and line work is bad? Try making a mistake when you're doing the Versailles or coloring layers, right? When you're actually adding paint to the canvas. Oh man, that was terrible because you're gonna have to try to mix the colors in a way where it didn't look terrible, didn't look muddy or gross, but you could still cover up the mistake you made somehow. And sometimes you can't do that, so you have to outright just wait until that bit of paint dries first, and then go over it later. Which reminds me, I did have a customer recently. She was working on a little project involving ceramics, and she put some ceramic plates on a tray that she wanted to use as, you know, a tray for putting food and such on, or in it, I should say, for like tea parties or, you know, having guests over. And we had a short conversation about, you know, my time in the studio art program and my advice and experience with ceramics and glue and other things like that, as well as paint. She just wanted to get some paint. And yeah, I mean, more or less though, she said she wanted to show me how the tray looks once she gets done gluing the ceramic plates to the bottom of it, or, you know, to the inner bottom of the Right. And it kind of made me feel somewhat, what's the word? I guess it justifies, or somewhat justifies, my time in the studio art program so that I could actually help her with that, with her own project. But I mean, those times I can do that with to help customers are few and far between. Most of the time, people just go into the store I work at to get parts to fix their stuff or to prevent damage from happening to their stuff. So it's never like, my knowledge in fine arts is never something that's all that valuable or frequently asked for. But when it happens, you know, it's nice. Still, I'd rather be something else, like a plumber or electrician, or I wouldn't say a software engineer, but a data scientist, or just a scientist in general. But you know, I don't mean to put art people down, because whether I like it or not, I am one of them. But you know, if you enjoy doing this kind of thing, and you want to do this for the rest of your life, regardless of whether or not you get paid for it, then by all means, more power to you. But as for me, if I could go back and do things differently, do things better, you know, I would. And there's just no doubt about that. But that's neither here or there. Right. It's too late now. I mean, I do want to go back to school just to try again in the sciences and maths, but I feel if I don't learn to code and do something with that knowledge on my own in my free time right now, if I don't prove to myself that I don't have the willingness or dedication to do something like that, then what's even the point of showing up at all to a college campus and pretending to be something that I'm not? I should really zoom out now. I mean, that's what I did with the studio art program. I more or less proved to myself that I wanted to, even though I didn't care to be an artist, I wanted that degree. Wanted it, like my life depended on it, like I couldn't breathe without it. That was what drove me, gave me the determination to go through whatever BS that was thrown my way, whatever nonsense I had to deal with, whatever, you know, obstacles showed up. And believe you me, there are many. And I don't care. I don't care who you are, or, you know, what school you go to and such. You will eventually have to deal with stuff like that. At least as an art student. I don't know about the other programs. Although I would imagine that, yes, you would have to deal with that stuff as well in any program you go to. You know what's also sad? Besides, my life. No, I'm kidding. No, but seriously, I wanted to I made a goal earlier this year, specifically in the month of February, to do some things right. Or I should say, I made several goals for this year. Call it a New Year's resolution or whatever, but these are things that I've been wanting to accomplish for years, and I wanted to, I thought that I could accomplish them this year, and maybe I still can, because there's still this month and next month left. But one of the goals was to do a pull-up. I'm still working on that, but I am a lot closer now than I ever have been in the past, 5-6 years that I've been trying. And to learn to make a game, which so far I've been also a lot closer to doing, at least in Scratch anyways, than in any other attempt I've made in the past. Hard coding is something that I don't want to do with Java, at least, because Java is unfortunately not as, well, I wouldn't say easy. I am familiar with Java and I've used Java in the past, but they were just intro courses, essentially. The kind of thing I'm trying to do, at least for hard coding anyways, is really complicated, and Java's really not beginner friendly, let alone used to do stuff like that. A lot of game engines especially are not coded in Java. Let's put it this way, there's a lot more game engines that are coded in JavaScript than in Java. The one exception to that is Minecraft, of course, and that's the only reason why I still continue to try to use Java. But nevertheless, though, object-oriented programming is not as intuitive, and it's not as quick to work with as, say, just using a function, making a function, I should say, and just using that. There's also not a whole lot of there's not a whole lot of information online regarding Java, nowhere near as much as JavaScript, Python, or C++. Alright, I forgot, I'm not doing the background characters. I don't want to give up on Java because it's the only programming language I actually can have a conversation about. I do know a lot about, or at least more than other programming languages. It's just a pain to have to use something that's not all that easy to work with, and even then there's not a whole lot of information about it to learn by yourself with. The only reason why I learned it in the past in the first place was because I learned it in high school. And again, those were just intro courses to coding in general. And we're talking 2010, 2011. So it's been at least a decade since I've learned Java and coding in general. And then 10 years later, I'm trying to do the same stuff again on my own. What? I can do simple things with Java, make simple calculations, formulas, stuff like that. I can even make a GUI now, but I don't know, it's just trying to make a game is difficult because, and yeah, everyone knows that now, but even something as simple as trying to make a game camera that follows a player sprite that just boggles my mind how that works. And thankfully, in a lot of game engines, that's already, even in Scratch, that's already coded for the user, so they don't have to think about that. They just have to worry about making the player move around. What is that? What's covering that up? Check. Nothing. Okay. The resolution is just low, so some pixels look like they're missing. Okay. So what was I saying? Alright, yeah. And the other thing I wanted to do on my own anyways, and figure out was just to make animations in Java, to code them anyways, but for some reason I can't seem to figure out why the animation frames are not getting read through the other image reader classes. Just don't understand what's going on there, and unfortunately the compiler doesn't give a detailed explanation of why that's not working. At least not in layman's terms. So, I mean, even a lot of computer scientists, graduates on YouTube recommend just using a game engine so you don't have to deal with all that. I mean, what's the point of having tools, especially free tools, if you're not even going to use them, right? But it's for the sake of challenging myself. And not like I don't like living life on easy mode or anything, because I do like to take it easy. Sometimes. But when you're following any kind of tutorial, even if it's not related to coding, let's say you're trying to learn how to cook something, right? Use a recipe. And you're following a tutorial online, you know, for that recipe. Your brain, this happens to almost everyone. The human brain, for some reason, mostly turns the retainment of information off, right? And all you're really doing is what Aaron Tran, I forgot his name, but what that one YouTuber said is you're just essentially monkey seeing, monkey doing, and you're not really learning, you're just copying. And back in college, that's basically what a lot of instructors warned about, is, you know, it's great that you learn by taking notes and such, but if you're not actually going out and doing any of the practice problems on your own, or, you know, applying the information you learn in class, then you're not really learning anything. You're just doing whatever you're being told to do, and then that's it. Within that box of circumstances, that's not going to be very helpful for you, for anyone, in any other situation or circumstance. So, because of that, I'm trying to, you know, like I said, not rely on tutorials, try to figure things out on my own. And it was working for a time, right? It was working out pretty well, but I got stuck on that animation part. And then I was wondering, maybe, because I didn't do the game camera, I didn't code that in, so I thought to myself, maybe that's the reason why. But if I go with the game camera, all I would be doing is just copying the code. And even if it finally allowed me to use the animation class Did I really learn anything by doing that? More than likely not. So I'll go back to it sometime soon, hopefully, because I haven't coded in a while. I've just been too busy learning how to do all this other stuff. And figure it out on my own then, but still, I mean, it just sucks in general. I guess this is a side tangent that's related to what I'm talking about. I should bring up, if you're familiar at all with the Godot West YouTube channel, the YouTube channel dedicated to teaching people how to use the Godot, as well as other game development related software and tools. They themselves have admitted that the way they have been teaching, with their videos anyways, has not been all that effective. It's not been effective, and as a result, they often get, I wouldn't say complaints, but more like the same statement every one of their, not every, that many of their students or followers message them, and that is they are stuck, or they don't understand something, or better yet, they just straight up gave up, because not through laziness, but through the sheer fact that they're not able to comprehend something and apply it correctly, and they can't get past that part, so they figure that they're just wasting their time trying. In response to that, GD Quest has decided to develop something new, some sort of application that is a little more interactive for users and our followers of Godot, in the hopes that it would make learning the game engine more effective, more efficient. But I've not heard about, so far it's just in its beta, so I haven't really heard much about how great it is to use it, but nevertheless though, it's not through the obvious faults of their own, not completely anyways, that they can't learn something, like, you know, using a game engine or even just coding in general. And I went on a long discussion about this and that, and I totally forgot what even made me get started on any of this. I guess it was, I guess my point is that learning is difficult regardless of what situation you're in. And you shouldn't feel bad about it. Unless it's for, you know, a class and you're doing something for a grade, in which case, yeah, you're going to feel bad about it because you don't want to fail. You don't want to fail a class. I know I didn't. Oh, man. Yeah, I was talking about fan art of games that I normally don't get enough attention. I have to check back in the VOD. That looks so weird, but that's what his leg looks like. Yeah, Oh, I see. There's like a little hole there. I see. Yeah, I'm not going to be able to get this line work done for the end of stream. Let's like just go really simple. Something like this. I think the way his shoe buckles work is the Lego brick thing looks like this. It looks like that. And afterwards, it has this weird curve. Come on. There we go. There's like some weird curvature coming out of this Lego brick buckle of a shoe. I had never noticed that before. I think that's how it attaches to the rest of it. Because this is just one flat piece of metal, and it would have to somehow adhere to the curvature of the foot or the shoe. on. Okay, cool. Okay, finally. Now I just gotta do this bit. Oh. You know what? Hold on. There we go. I don't know why I wasn't using that earlier. The assistant. I guess I was so so focused on trying to get this done as quickly as possible that I didn't think to use a stabilizer. But the line work doesn't really matter because I'm not trying to. Okay, the line work doesn't matter as much, I should say, because I'm not going to be inking this drawing like the last one. I'm going to be getting this in so that I don't have to use a reference image. There you go. Nice. Oh, only got a minute left. No. That stabilizer helps a lot. Except for the lack of steadiness in my arm. And that is the 1 minute mark. There we go. Alright. Yep, that's the 1 minute mark, so I have to stop here. Save once more. See how it looks now without the reference image in the way. That's alright. Obviously I was not using the stabilizer, so this area here and this area looks a lot better than the rest of this. Although it's not as bad as I thought it would be, like, yeah. But yeah, I'll make sure to leave the stabilizer on for next time. Okay. I said I might do another stream. Stream for another hour, but even if I did, this probably won't take more than a half an hour to finish doing the contour layer. Ugh. And I won't know. I would not know what to do with the other half an hour. So I don't know. I do need to do some other things content related. I still got to post the links to the recent uploaded stream archives, the drawing streams on my YouTube, and I need to upload the drawing I just finished in my DVD art. I mean, theoretically that shouldn't take more than a few minutes, but I don't know. I really don't feel like rushing to get to work today. So, and on top of that, it's a 7-hour shift today. I get off at 5, and my bedtime is at 8 o'clock, so if I wanted to, I could just wait until I get home to stream again, if I so badly want to, but nah, we'll see. Anyways, let me put that track on that I said I was going to use as my outro music. Where are you? There it is. Okay. But that is it for this stream. I apologize for all the clicking sound that I was making with my drawing tablet, you know, for pressing the redo button so many times, but as I said, I was just trying to get this done as quickly as possible. I wasn't really thinking about anything else. I didn't even think to use the stabilizer to make this process easier and faster. But hey, I mean, you know. Anyways, is there anything else I want to talk about? Not really. If there's anything else, of course, I can just tweet about it. Yeah. So once I get this contour layer done, drawing the values in like I had been and like I used to doesn't seem like a good idea the more I think about it. What I might do is put a filter over the reference image, make it grayscale, and then just try to work with nothing but, you know, the wet bristles brush, or what's it called? Hold on. Yeah, wet bristles brush. Because since I'm not going to be inking and drawing or rather circling over the different values, you know, tints, lights and shadows on the form, is only reinforcing that habit I have of isolating the values and colors. I guess I should just not bother doing that part then. Yeah, again, it's just a matter of challenging myself. I'm just, you know, spicing things up because I still have another 11 of these to do once I get finished with this one. Anyways, but yeah, that's gonna be it for this stream. I'll pick this up in the next stream. So yeah, peace.